Welcome to another episode of the Market Makers in Middle East and Africa podcast. I am your host, Abrar Hussain. Today, I speak to Alex, founder and CEO of Dubai-based PropTech Realist.
Thanks
Alex,
for having me.
Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks.
Pleasure to have you. Tell us about what Realist does and what is the grand vision that you have, which you wanted to solve.
So it all started with a problem about finding real estate for investment. Once you find something for investment, you need to analyze tons of data. So you probably have people, experts or realtors who are going to help you to find something, and they can bring on the table their own calculations about ROI, all these meetings, right? All these projections, etc. But the real thing is that you need to double check it daily. So you need to understand the market, etc. That's why people used to invest in markets and cities they live. So not a lot of Indians, for example, invest in Dubai. Most of the Indian people invest in India, right? So because they understand these markets, they grew up these cities, etc. But probably India today is not the best market to invest in real estate, right? So like billion of people they just don't know about it because no data around the world about real estate markets. And if you want to invest from India to Dubai, you need to analyze these markets by months over months, understanding what's happening here, etc. So we just understood that this is not fair. This is a big problem. So why people just don't invest in the whole world, the best places in the world, literally? Because there is a lack of data, no transparent data, and no obvious solutions, no obvious insights about this market. So we understood that it's impossible to do manually. It's impossible to collect so much data, and this advice is obvious. And only software could help. So we started 8 years ago to put our efforts to learn and educate AI. So before it was so popular, so we started 8 years ago. And now this AI, for now, it works in 110 cities globally. AI highlights you which markets, which cities now best for investment, like in terms of comparable analysis, inflation, rates, mortgage, everything. It just comparing all data possible and recommends you cities. So Dubai, for example, is a good city for investment right now. And after it digitalized all inventory from developers, from banks, from sellers who want to sell, and highlights you what real estate has the biggest potential to from investment, or for rent, or for appreciation, or for long-term or short-term, different scenarios. So before the AI Realist, it was just impossible to analyze so much data and markets. So people used to work with realtors, and realtors, their problem is that literally they are not so good in investment. So realtors probably good in terms of helping you buy something for personal use, right, for final buyers. But literally most of realtors are not good in numbers and projections and ROI calculations and everything around it. So people used before the Realist realtors because nothing better existed. So we just made this AI. AI is free. All data is free. Anyone can go to the platform and check this data. And this is an explainable AI. This AI explains you its recommendations. Mm-hmm. This is the difference.
Perfect. Alex, you mentioned that you started AI 8 years back.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit more about your background, who's Alex, and how you got inspired about it. Yeah.
Sure. So my mother was a real estate investor. She still is. But at that time, I remember I sold my plot of land in near the Moscow. I was 12, so it was like my background at that time. And at 12 of 20, I started a business in university in terms of real estate investing and real estate agency. So I hired my colleagues, students to work in this company and investment company and real estate company. So I made my first $1 million on this approximately at the age of 22, 23. So I felt myself good at that time, frankly speaking. So I made quite good money at that time. And I started to invest more and more my money into real estate. And the problem was that I was totally in offline business, not online at all. So I had no idea how to make a products, how to make AI. I had no idea for sure. And that time, like 10 years ago, nobody literally knew AI or just spoke about AI in public. So I started investing money. And after I visited some interesting meeting, and that meeting, two IT entrepreneurs said that they have built a platform for booking kind of meeting rooms in hotels, and they raised $5 million, and they do some business, etc. At that time, I understood that offline business is not a wonderful place for the next 10 years. So I decided to move totally from offline to online. An idea was just to replace my manually work in terms of estimations, analyzing investments, properties, and bringing to all expertise to technology. After this idea, I lost my $1 million on this moving from offline to online, because I had no idea how to manage and build IT products at that time at all. That was very, very painful. I met wonderful developers, and these developers have been working together for 15 years. So the close team of very beautiful developers. And I started to work for AI with them. And on the beginning, it was not a lot of AI inside. It was just simple algorithms. And we called it, by the way, Shiva. Mm-hmm. Shiva, because like a lot of arms, a lot of things you need to collect inside. So still AI inside the Realist, we call it Shiva. So because of that time. But now it took 8 years with these developers just to have been working hard on this and doing tons of iteration, tons of trying just to bring on the table to user and to customer just very simple explanation why is this city, why is this building, why is this neighborhood you should buy for investment.
Mm-hmm. Perfect.
This is just my story.
Yeah, no. Yeah, great story, Alex. Now I have used the product, and it's a great one, very different than the traditional portals where an investor can go and look how much kind of returns he get on a rental or how much appreciation he can expect. I mean, it's really cool how the AI engine behind the product works, right? And how you collect the data, or from what sources you use the data.
Yeah, sure. So let's start from the sources of the data. So more than 55 or maybe 60% data we generate and synthesize in-house, because you just can't find this data any place in the world. For example, rental yield, or what is the percentage of parks in these neighborhoods, what is the percentage of water surface, what is a neighborhood, what is the class of the buildings. So you can take this. You have to go manually market it, so like marketing, or you need to have AI just marketing, analyzing this. So you can find like building rating, for example. You can find in DLD the building, the handover date, but what is the class of the building? You can find it, right? So this is what data we need to collect in-house, and you can find this data. Also, like transactions, what you need to see transactions, and DLD is wonderful source of data. I can't say it's 100% accurate all the time, but it's still the best, and one of the best in the whole world, frankly speaking. So it helps to analyze listings in rents and in transactions also. But also we're analyzing inventory of developers. So developers have inventory, what they want to sell, and they deliver this inventory to real estate world by Excels, PDF files. Yes, Excels and PDF files. So our engine just collects it daily and analyzing what are the changes in time between these Excels. Because if they, for example, one developer had 100 apartments today and tomorrow just 98, it means that 4 apartments sold. or booked. So this real-time data, this is enriching our engine, etc. Also, we buy tons of data. So in UAE, we have approximately 10 providers of data who sell us data. Like they taken it from listings websites, from different, like from Facebook also, listings from Facebook, etc. So they just aggregate this data and sell it to us. We take this data and we clean this data because, for example, most of listings on traditional websites are fakes. So you literally need to understand what are fakes and what not. So we have a pattern and we have algorithm cleaning this data from fakes and duplicates just to understand what are the real listings, and tons of this. So that's how we work with data. And about AI, there is two parts of it. So technology of AI, it's not something that nobody knows. So it's literally already acceptable, like the approach, technology, like random forest, machine learning, all this deep learning, all these things, it's acceptable. Yes, but preparation of data sets, data lake, and all this with all this kind of data, how you clean it, how you prepare it, this is 80% of the job. So, and that's what we have done. And we have done it first in this country, and we have done it first in the whole world in terms of counts of cities and lake of data. So for now, Realist has the biggest lake of data in the world in terms of real estate.
Wow. Now, for the investors, and how your platform can help them make a better investment and make more money, both for the ones who are investing for the first time, and the kind of the professionals as well.
Yeah. So in investment, there are two metrics. First metric is a better ROI. Yes, but the second metric is low risk. So literally, you can get potentially as a huge ROI of rent if you go and buy some apartment in the desert. Mm-hmm. But in the desert, you have low liquidity, you have much higher risk, etc. So not all investors just count it. And 99.9% of realtors just don't take attention on this risk, etc. So they just place attention on ROI only. So we take into Realist AI takes into account risk reward balance. This is the most important, and just highlights what neighborhoods have the biggest potential for investment in appreciation. So our AI makes predictions up to 5 years in the future, and it could be wrong, could be right in the 5 years, right? Because in 5 years a lot of things could happen, but right now, what data possibly exist in the newspapers, in local neighborhoods, local infrastructure, launching the new school, new lagoons in the future, new golf places, everything. So we just take into account, I think, 99% of all news for now in a UAE market. AI takes into account and highlights potential of neighborhood or potential of the building or even a simple unit. What is the difference between it? Nobody highlights you so accurate for now and so clear, so transparent. After AI explains you why this market or this location could grow, because of these factors, because of this neighborhood, because of this compatible analysis, because of this demand supply data and balance.
Very interesting. This is the best part I like, is that it's not only about ROI, it's about the risk as well.
That's true.
And then risk and reward, both the factors are there. Now, you mentioned in the earlier discussion that the data part is kind of free and anybody can come use.
Yeah.
How do you make money?
Super simple. So it's something like Google, how Google make money, right? How Google makes money. You use technology for free, but we collect your personal data, right? And after you register on the platform, we just try to help you to navigate you through the platform, through the AI technology and the data. And once you find something special for you in investment, we help you to close transaction. People can close transaction 100% online on the platform with 0% of human efforts. Or they can use our free service just to close transactions, sending money, all this stuff. So, and make direct transaction directly with developer. So what we do, we match developers with the right investors, investors with the right developers. That's what we do. After we made the matching and fix all the problem with transactions, money, and all this stuff, so developers pay us commission for this transaction.
Oh,
So
interesting.
yeah, investors or buyers, they pay nothing. They have all service, all technology, all information for free. So this technology information much better than any company now can afford or can give. And yeah, so the sellers, so they pay
It's a
transaction
very
fee.
interesting thing which you mentioned, that you connect the buyers with the developers.
Yes, directly.
What's your instinct? Do you think that AI now or in future will replace the realtors, the agents? And do your platform coexist with your agents, or you plan to replace them, or you are replacing them?
Yeah, so we don't have we don't have plans to replace them. Frankly speaking, 25% of our business is the business with realtors. So what realtors do, like the cleverest realtors, what they do, they use our platform as infrastructure. So, for example, realtors don't have a contract with some specific developer. We have. So you can go literally use all this data, help your client to buy what the client needs, not just what you have. And you can close transactions on the Realist platform. And Realist platform pays these agents 91% commission. So for all infrastructure and all data, etc. So data is for free. You can go and take it. Realtors can take it. For transaction and for all money management, we take a cut 9%. So this is now 25% of our business. 75% of our business is direct transactions. So here we're replacing realtors, that's true. But the cleverest realtors and the most professional realtors, they're gonna get huge profit of AI for now. AI is gonna replace the worst realtors who try to tell the not truth, who try to make money but they're not professional, who just entered the market but have no license and all this knowledge, etc. Why people should use these guys if everything online and transparent? They just bring no value, right? So this burden of 25% of realtors should be replaced by AI, and the quality of service is going to be much higher, and top realtors are going to perform much better because these guys takes their profits.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, so you're saying that this is, I think, across many industries, that the people who will use AI will become better, and who
For
will
sure.
not, will kind of be replaced or affected.
For sure.
Coming to your question about Dubai, how do you see Dubai's real estate market in coming 5 years and now?
So in 5 years, it could be up and down. So it's better to say down and up. So 5 years, it's too long period for now. But I bet that 5 years or so far, Dubai will be much better, and prices in Dubai for real estate will be 50% higher in
Wow,
5
that's
years
interesting.
in the average of the market. Why? Dubai dramatically undervalued city. So price per square meter here in Dubai average $7,000 per meter. So in Singapore, for example, it's $14,000. In Hong Kong, $24,000. I just try to train to my AI just remembers the price. But you can go and see, right? I showed you before before this recording. So Hong Kong 24,000, Singapore 14, or maybe 17. I don't remember right. By quality, okay, you can go to London. The poorest neighborhood in London, they call it Barking. The price in Barking in the poorest neighborhood in London, 1.5 hours from the center of London, with quality of real estate close to very affordable. The price in this location average is $6,300 per meter. Wow. So this is the exact price in Business Bay. And this is the exact price in the most valuable location in Mumbai, I showed you also, right? So if you compare now Mumbai, even Dubai undervalued dramatically in terms of price, quality of living, security, like safety, all this about, right? So what about Dubai is bad? A lot of people globally thinks about Dubai not about the city to live, but a city to visit as a tourist. So Dubai has a wonderful name and brand, but tourist name and brand. So literally, in time, I think the governments are going to change it to city for living, not just tourism. But literally, Dubai is one of the greatest cities now in the world, and it's going to be much, much better in time. But people literally, people who live in Barking in London, right? They just don't know that they can sell tomorrow their apartment in Barking in London and buy free or for similar quality here in Dubai right now. Just selling there, buying there, and they can rent out free, live in one, and do not work the whole their life.
Wow.
But they don't know. They still live in the poorest location in London, having not a lot of money, possibly, right? And working like 9 hours a day. But literally, they can sell this apartment or this house, buy the same quality, but free for same quality apartments here for now. This is a different and geographical arbitrage that people like hundreds, millions of people just don't get it. Why? Because the data is not transparent. So people in London just don't know about Realist yet. Right? So if they tomorrow know about that they can sell and do not work for the whole their life, probably some percentage of them clever ones, they're gonna sell, buy, rent it out, and do nothing for the rest of their life. That's an interesting thing.
You mentioned something. I was reading news about Realist that you were launching in Saudi Arabia as well, and I saw a quote where you mentioned that if you invest in say now, in next 5 years or 10 years, this can increase by 5 times, 10 times. Do you see that kind of potential in the
Let's bring the numbers on table. Like now it's impossible to buy for foreigners real estate in Saudi Arabia. But there is an information that is going to be soon possible. Probably in half a year, maybe less. And if you compare Saudi Arabia like Riyadh, do you know what is population of Riyadh approximately?
No.
8 million. So it's literally the same population than in New York. So it's a lot. It's twice more than in Dubai, right? And the pricing for Riyadh average now $1,500 per meter. So Dubai is 7. And Riyadh is 1,500. Oh. It means that Riyadh has an opportunity to grow 2-3 times in the next 5 years average. Some locations in Riyadh have the opportunity to grow 300% in 3 years. So after this low, because for Riyadh just is waiting for demand and cash power from international buyers, not just locals. But there is a great opportunity there. We already signed something like 20 developers in Riyadh, and we're all waiting for legal part of the process. So after it's done, it's going to be the bridge between global investors and Riyadh instantly, because we already done it. We already done all analysis, all developers, not all, but mostly the biggest developers already we have on the platform right now. You can buy, but you can see.
Cool,
You can see, but not touch. You can touch.
The interesting part is that you're expanding, and when we were talking, you mentioned that you can transact using your platform in 4 or 5 cities.
In 5 cities.
In 5 cities, but you have the data and people can see the data in 100+ cities.
Yes, that's
I mean,
true.
it's massive where you're collecting that kind of data and then churning it and then providing it in a proper information to the people. What challenges do you face when you go to new markets, and how you are scaling globally? In collecting data, hiring team,
scaling globally, it's all about the team. It's all about the hiring. So how we hire, we just built pipelines for each position. For example, sales. We do not use realtors for sales. We do not use people for sales. We use people as a supporting part. So you go to the platform, you register, and we have a gentleman or lady who is going to support you and show on the Zoom call how it works, what features, what you need to pay attention, etc. After you can make your decisions. So to hire these people and to find an experts in different markets, this is a key. So that's why we built a program of education of platform. So people with financial background can can study the platform and the knowledge on the platform. And in 1.5 months, this is our average time, they're expert much better than real estate realtors with 10 years experience with this type of data. So why just spend 10 years of your life? It's already in the platform, all data, and it's updating daily. No realtor can updating information in their head daily about projects, prices, new projects, all this.
How do you collect the data for each country specifically?
Oh,
because
yeah.
they will be having different sources.
Yeah, so different sources. What could be catch digitally? Yeah, we're catching it digitally. We are taking it digitally. But contracts with developers, you can't make digitally. So we just hire 1 or 2 people on the ground. So they go literally knocking on developers' doors and say, have a look what we have and make a presentation 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, we sign the contract with developer for selling their apartments because they have never seen before something similar. Never in their life. So you literally go and click if we are, one day we are going to launch in Mumbai. In Mumbai, we have all the data. We go to the Mumbai developers, say, let's present 10 minutes, present Mumbai, what we have in Dubai, how it's going to be here, and how they can make profit from this. Yes, and in 1 month, we're going to have all inventory and all contracts in the city with these two people on the ground. Once you can present something and not just showing PDF files, this whole fancy pictures, but you literally can show playing with it, touching it, the product, it changed everything in terms of relationship in B2B. So how B2B works. If you can show the product that nobody could show, this is one thing. If you don't have a product and you have a competition, this is a different thing, right? That's how we collect the data globally. This is one part of the business. So, and the second part of the business is financial side. So once you want to scale globally, you just can bring on the table, on the platform inventory. You need to scale marketing, you need to do things, etc. That's what you need, why you need financial side. So most of the cities where we're launching with separate local investors. Like in Bali, we launched Bali with investor who bought 10% of shares in Bali. Jakarta is the same. So we have now different investors in different locations. They are local in cities: Istanbul, Jakarta, Madrid, Berlin, Vienna, Barcelona, Bucharest, Bali, Jakarta, Bangkok, Riyadh, and 2 free cities I don't remember now. So these people just they live in these cities, and they knew about us in some articles or Bloomberg or some media, and they just called us and say, guys, I want the same thing in my city that I now work or I invest or I live. So we say, okay, so you can invest in the city, why not? And the valuation of this city, like in the company in the city, like $2 million, $1 million, $3 million, depends on the city. And for them, like, it's a kind of good investment. So they buy 10% in the local city. They like the product. They use the product for their personal use. And one day we will come to manage and build the business there. So that's why we launched yesterday founders program. We just looking for great people who can be partners and founders with us in the city, like in India, for example. We can go for now and making transactions and business in Mumbai. It's too much work, right? And we have 110 cities. So what is the approach? We try to find the great person to founder and split the shares of the company. So it's much better approach. So for now, we received 400 applications in first day. Yeah, so people just saw somewhere, just speak about somewhere. So from different countries, from South Africa to Argentina, so from everywhere for now. And we try to build a great program, find great people, just to take entrepreneur, give him the best technology in the class in his city, and merge it with make it company, make a funding for this company and start growing. Because then more cities we're launching now, then better for the system, for platform, etc.
And do you see with this growth, you becoming a realist, becoming a unicorn?
Yes, I can't say what time exactly, but we hope we're going to become unicorn in 2000. So next year, 2024. 2024. So we have a password of Wi-Fi in our office. So Realist plus AI equals unicorn 2024. This is a password for Wi-Fi. So everyone comes to our office. They literally need to write it in a Wi-Fi. So we think that the more people write it, then more hope, then more chances it's going to be.
Very good, very good. Yeah. Oh, that's very interesting and very motivating. What challenges and opportunities do you see in real estate, and are there any other big opportunities to be solved in the real estate, which can be a new prop tech?
So, first of all, in real estate, residential real estate, most of all, you spend most of your life. You sleep in residential real estate. You make holidays. You celebration holidays, and you celebration some good days, right, of your life in the residential real estate. So residential real estate is one of the biggest part of your life. But literally in residential real estate, people do not have freedom. Let me explain you why. So for now, we have a lot of freedoms of people like golden billion. So you have freedom of speech. You have you can eat, right? So you don't need to work a lot for having food, right? You can travel. So literally, you have a lot of freedoms. But literally, what you don't have a freedom of understanding residential real estate and where you could live, what money you could make in a world, and what place in the world is the best place to live for you now. Because of the remotely work, and remotely work is one last freedom or pre-last freedom that people achieved like 2 years ago. Now it's okay work remotely, right? Before it was impossible. So now it's okay. And you can move, you can go for any country in the world and have a job, right? But what country you should go? Literally nobody knows. So each country, each city needs too much exploring, seeing data, analyzing it. So you literally can't analyze 100 cities now and pick the best one for living. Literally you can't. But with AI, now you can. So literally, this is the last freedom for a billion of people, understanding what place in the world better to live, better to invest. Because if you buy apartment, you're already an investor. If you use for your personal use, you're already investor. Like a very long-term investor, but you're still investor. Because in the opposite side, you can rent it.
Alex, it's really a pleasure to talk to you. My last question. How do you see Realist in next 5 years? and when you'll say that, look, I have achieved what I wanted to?
So it's not a game about valuation, but valuation is something that if you done the good job, valuation comes. So in 5 years, I would like to have that people are gonna know the data about the world transparent, and Realist is gonna be the main source of knowledge and data about the global real estate in residential, first of all. So I think it's gonna be millions of users in that day. I think that in terms of business side, so for now we achieved revenue 7 million for 1 year. So revenue could be in 5 years more than $200 million. I think it's possible to make. And literally, if you have a revenue of $200 million in terms of transactions, your clients, 10,000, more than 10,000 clients. So literally, if I'm going to change the life of 10,000 people to the better, investment side or buying some final for final use, so it's going to be a great results for the 5 years. That what we focus on. And after, who knows? So we just don't want to sell the company, but we already are receiving some offers to sell the company in Dubai also. We just want to keep going and see what we can do. So literally, if in 10 years, most of the people are going to know exactly what is a place better to live, and there is no geographical arbitrage anymore. So literally, it's going to be freedom for these hundreds of millions of people.
Well, pleasure to have you, Alex.
Thank you.
And good to talk to you. And thank you for coming.
Thanks very much for having
Thank
me
you.
today.